cheesecakes is probably one of the easiest desserts that you could make, really. There's no sort of thinking about the oven, about the temperature, about greasing your tin. It's pretty much just pop it in the mould and done. So what you're going to need is, I've got some moulds here, and these are really going to help because especially if you're serving them for a dinner party or something like that, it gives people sort of an individual dessert, something to have themselves, and it looks a little bit neater than having to cut into a slice of cheesecake. And I do like a good slice of cheesecake, don't get me wrong, but these just kind of, they elevate it a little bit. And these are just over 4 centimetres deep and 7.5 centimetres diameter. But I found some that are maybe about double the height. They do fine. You can source these on Amazon, which is where I bought mine from. And the handy thing is, they come with this little gadget here, which I'm not sure the exact name for. I'll call it a press. But this press it fits right inside the mould, presses the base down, and that gives you a really neat crust to the cheesecake, really nice base for the cheesecake. What I've got here, I've got some digestives that I've just crumbled up, and that's sort of a very kind of fine sandy texture really. And you can use whatever you want. You can do the old put them in a freezer bag, bash them with a rolling pin, completely fine. I use this tiny little processor here. This is from Lakeland, and this technically is supposed to be used for sort of grinding nuts, grinding spices, breadcrumbs, things like that. But when I'm doing a small volume like I am today, that's actually quite good for just doing your digestives in a couple of batches. You don't have to get your food processor dirty or anything like that. So 300 grams of digestives, and I've got 125 grams of melted butter. And what I like to do with that is I melt the butter, leave it for about 5 minutes, and then add it in because it makes it, for one, easier to work with, and two, I find it, I'm sure there's a scientific reason behind this, but it gives a bit of a crispier base. It's not soggy, especially if you're not going to eat it immediately. Just mix it till it's all incorporated and it starts to kind of form these sort of clumps. I've done some bases with cocoa in, that makes a really nice chocolatey base. That actually tastes quite a lot like bourbon biscuits, but if you do buy the bourbon biscuits and crunch those up, I find the texture is not quite right for cheesecake somehow, like it sort of clumps together. Not a particular fan, so I prefer to add in cocoa, and it's pretty much the same taste. So just pop your little moulds on your tray. Again, any sort of tray, it doesn't really matter. And I find that for this sort of size, I get a little tablespoon, 3 tablespoons into each. I'm just going to show one here to be quick. And I don't press it down, I distribute it with my fingers. Then I bring the press in, press it down with my fingers, twist it around a bit to make sure everything's nice and even. And there we go, it's done. These two here I've already done, and this one's not quite done, but you can see what I've done is I've sort of spread it out with my fingers, easy enough, and just pop this in. Normally I use 2 hands, I sort of press with my left hand and then twizzle it around with my right, but obviously I'm holding the camera in my right, which is why it's so wobbly. And then, as you can see, it doesn't take very much to press it down at all. And pop it in this one, turn it around, and there you go, perfect cheesecake base. So what you're going to need is 862 ml of cream in a big bowl, double cream, and if you're making 15 it is going to need to be a really big bowl like this. And in the same bowl put 337 grams of caster sugar in as well. And the bowl over there, I've got 731 grams of good quality cream cheese and 731 grams of supermarket own brand cream cheese. Now I find that just makes it a little bit cheaper to make, which obviously is quite important if you're making 15 of them, and it gives you still the creaminess and the luxuriousness of the higher quality cream cheese. So it is best if you have all your ingredients set up before you start to go, because if you have the caster sugar in the cream for too long, it does start to go a bit funny and a bit gritty. So just get everything ready, put the caster sugar in last minute, and then you're ready to start. So what I need to do is, I've got this little mixer here, and I'm going to whisk this up for a couple of minutes until it starts to get a bit thickened but not fully whipped. So, yeah. So this is the consistency that we're looking for. So it's thickened, still got some movement in it, still flows, but it's nice and stable, and it's going to give some really luxurious creaminess to the cheesecake. I'm going to show you the consistency of the cream cheese while we're here as well. So what I've done, I've just put them both into the same bowl and literally just gone like that, mashed it up, nothing gentle or delicate about it, just mash them up, and then I'm going to put them straight into this bowl here and mix them with the wooden spoon that I showed you. Cream cheese into the bowl, and it's a little bit easier if you've got a spatula for this, but wooden spoon will be fine. And I've gone and got cheesecake on my apron. I was hoping not to have to clean that today, but there we go. Serves me right for wearing the apron straight out the washer, I suppose. So, cream cheese in the bowl, and nothing scientific about it. Literally stir it up, and do be gentle at first. I've done this a lot of times, so I know when it's likely to spill out the bowl. You'll notice when they're both started to incorporate, because the cream is slightly yellower than the cream cheese. And you keep mixing, and they do look quite shiny, but when it starts to dull down and thicken, then you've got the right consistency. So you're looking for it to be quite stiff. This is still a bit runny at the moment, so keep mixing. And it all depends on how cold your ingredients are. Same with when you're whipping up the cream and the caster sugar. If your ingredients have been out of the fridge for about 15-20 minutes, then they'll whisk up a lot quicker, which is helpful if you've not got very much time. Okay, so if you can see that, really thick. It does gradually fall off the spoon, very reluctantly, but it's this sort of thickness that you're wanting, really thick but not stiff. If you mix it too much, it will start to get sort of quite airy and a bit separated, and if you mix cream too much, then it does start to turn into butter, so just watch yourself for that. So I'm going for lemon, so this is 1.5 lemons for this mix, so it makes 15, and literally just grate it in, nothing complicated at all. The thing is with cheesecakes, you do want to add more flavour than you might think, because the sort of tanginess of the cream cheese is quite strident really. So do be bold with your flavours. If you're not sure, just have a couple of clean spoons by your side, keep tasting, see what you think. And what I like to do, if you can find a pastry bag, a lot of supermarkets do actually sell things like this now. They're up in the game in as far as cake decorating goes, so you might be able to find some, maybe a bit smaller. So roll it back on itself like that, so you've got a little collar, open it up with your hands, and then if you pop it in a jug like this, then it's really easy to just spoon directly in. It's not going to sort of collapse on you or anything, and Bob's your uncle. So I'm going to put this in. If you are making the full 15 and you're not sure about using pastry bags, then I'd only put a little in to start off with, just to make sure that you're alright with the technique and everything. You don't want cheesecake mix everywhere. Right, so I've got that filled up. I'm going to fill it again in a second. Pop it to one side, get your angled spatula, and I'm going to get the cheesecake bases out of the fridge. So take your pastry bag, roll it back up, and then you've got a good sort of handful to hold the pastry bag by. And if you're not sure about the pastry bag, if you've not got very strong hands or a strong grip, which my mum doesn't, she doesn't like to do this, to be honest, then just put less in the bag, hold it further down, completely fine. Just take it as quickly or as slowly as you want, really. So I'm going to show you from this angle, and then I'm going to show you from above, which will be quite difficult. So you pop the tip to the bottom, you squeeze follow it all the way around, and then do the same again. Use this hand to squeeze the mixture down towards this hand. Obviously if you're left-handed, swap it around. And then fill it so just comes above, like that. And you just pop this to one side. And then what you do is scrape the angled spatula or palette knife, whichever you've got, across, and then you've got a clean cheesecake edge. That'll make it a little easier, so pop it in, run it all the way around the base, like so, stop, and then start again, doing the exact same thing. You will sometimes get air bubbles, so don't lean your face too close to it. I've had it more times than I'd care to remember being sprayed with cheesecake mix, which it sounds a lot more fun than it is, especially if I was wearing glasses. Pretty annoying. Okay, I normally do these 2x2, but I'll show you just the one to start with. And that's how easy it is. You just shake it out and it falls. Very, very handy, and it gives you quite clean edges. And what you might need to do is just run your angled spatula or palette knife all the way around the outside. This isn't necessary, but it will help elevate your cheesecake game, to be fair. Just smooth it off, wipe the excess, and then if you dip it in water again so it's nice and clean, just keep doing that a couple of times, smooth it over, and then I often just run my finger around the outside to get it circular, and then you can pick this up, just pop it on your tray. And this is what they look like when they're done. So you can see they're really smooth and really even. The base is even thickness all the way around, which is really good. So they're ready to be served, or alternatively, as I often do, you can put them back in the fridge overnight and then they're ready for the next day when you eat. And they'll stay good for about 3 days. Obviously the sooner you eat them, then the better, really. So that's it. It's a little bit of a technique, a little bit of equipment that helps you, but cheesecakes are one of the easiest desserts you can make, so just have fun with it. Add in anything you like, from spices, fruits, chocolates, anything you like, and if you've experimented then let me know, see how it went. If you'd like to see more pictures, know more about events, videos, etc., then go to dreambakes.co.uk. Check us out on Twitter, which is @dreambakesteam. Instagram, obviously loads and loads of images on there, @dreambakes. Facebook, it's facebook.com/dreambakes with a capital D. So head on over there, give us a like, give us a share, favourite, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.